it's me, Cherie DeVille, and I am going to be spilling some serious on-set tea today. I'm going to be talking all about my funniest, weirdest, most embarrassing, and grossest stories, so stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss this one. All right, so this one's incredibly embarrassing. So I was doing a really interesting booty scene in an RV a few months back. We're going at it, it's hot, it's heavy, we're doing stuff all over the RV. It is an amazing scene until I start to smell an intense odor. There are like 15 people in this RV, so I just figured somebody had a bad burrito for lunch. I was just gonna let it go, but it's intensifying. And intensifying until I can like taste it, but nobody's stopping, nobody's saying anything. So I'm like, you know what? You're professional, you're gonna roll with this, even though you can like taste the fart in your mouth. Thankfully, the male talent turns around and goes, oh my God, the stove, the gas stove has been on for at least 10 minutes, filling up the RV with that farty gas smell. And no one mentioned it because everyone thought it was me, because it was a booty scene. We almost died because everyone thought I had terrible gas. This story is such a good one, and if you're interested, you can see the full version on my Spicy site. Luckily, I didn't die. So, I was on set with Isaiah Maxwell, and if you know anything about Isaiah, he is very well endowed. I am not a particularly good, if I'm being honest. So this day, things were great. My throat was open. I am feeling like a superstar. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna take the whole thing. I'm gonna take the whole thing all the way down, and I did it. And I was like so surprised at myself and so excited at my like throat's prowess that day that I take it out, I look up at him, and I breathe in to say something dirty and inhale all of the spit that I just created into my lungs. So my dirty talk came out, and then everyone's kind of like, you can see the director kind of looking at me going, it's not Cherie DeVille's usual banter. And then my eyes get big and I'm like, I almost died. I inhaled so much spit, it took like 2 minutes to get a breath of air. So I guess the moral of that story is this throat is probably not made for that glorious, glorious member. This next story is both crazy and probably one of the best days of my life. So I am on set with 3 beautiful women, one of whom had just given birth. I had no idea that was going on. So we're doing our stuff. It's foreplay, we're touching, we're grabbing, we're kissing. I'm getting to one of my favorite parts, and all of a sudden, there's like a lot of like sweet, delicious fluid in my mouth. I was like, well, that's funny. I give a little squeeze, and this is all on camera. I have a full face of makeup that took 2 hours to create. I give a little squeeze, and I am just all over my whole face in tiny droplets of breast milk from here to here. And I'm going, oh, and the director, oh, and the girls, oh. Everyone's so surprised. Unfortunately, because of silly internet rules, we weren't able to keep that in. So I had to go back in hair and makeup and clean up the breast milk, only to start the scene again and have it happen like 10 more times. I have no idea if that scene ever saw the light of day, but all of us went home soaked. I mean, hair soaked, face soaked, clothes soaked with breast milk. It was pretty fantastic. This is one of the most embarrassing stories of my entire career. My career had just started. This is my 3rd scene ever with a boy, right? So I'm really excited. It is for a really big company. It is me, a close friend of mine, and our lovely male talent. The scene chemistry is off the charts. I'm thinking like, this is the day I become a star, right? Like you have those feelings early on in your career. You're like, man, I'm so good at my job. Everything's going great. Even though it's only my 3rd scene with a guy, like I felt like I was crushing this. So then we cut, and the director is telling us where he wants the grand finale, if you will, the money shot. And so he says he wants the money shot all over my friend. Then he wants me to lick it up The end, right? I'm like, that is a beautiful movie. That is a wonderful way to end this movie. So it's going good. We start the cameras again. He does it. Money shot all over my friend. And I am new and I am enthusiastic. So I get down there and just, and the director's like, okay, because I was just, does it? I was like, all right, job done, scene over. He's like, well, where is it? I'm like, where's what? He's like, the money shot. Where is it? Did he finish? Are we good? And I'm like, this is before I knew you always had to show the camera the finale. I ate that faster than soft serve on a hot summer day. We had to do it over. I got yelled at. I went from feeling like this was the beginning of stardom to the day that I get fired. Very embarrassing. The male talent was very sad. He went and jumped in the pool to cool down, and then we had to do it over. This is another incredibly embarrassing story. Imagine this. Everyone on the cast, including me, has been there since at least 8 a.m. It is now maybe 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're just getting ready for the boy-girl fun, but I have one more line to say. I throw a drink into my male co-star's face, right? And then we get down to business. Everybody gets to go home. We've all been there a long time, but I'm ready. I know my line. I've been practicing my words. I'm gonna toss the drink. So I have this big, like this huge red wine glass filled with, I don't know, water, Sprite, something like that. So I yell at my male co-star, I say my line, and I admittedly, tentatively, sort of swish the glass in this direction. It was a very curved glass. The entire contents of that glass swished up, out towards my co-star, around, and rained down all over my hair and makeup, soaking me, ruining my hair, ruining my makeup. Everyone was very polite. They pretended to be cool with it, even though it was 2 in the morning, nobody was cool with it. It was obvious nobody was cool with it, but I got back in hair and makeup. You know, it was just a touch-up, so it probably took 20, 30 minutes, right? I'm very embarrassed. We got the blow dryer. We're redoing my face. We're re-gluing the eyelashes. Okay, but I'm back. I'm back. This is a big feature. It's early in my career. I really need this. So I'm like, all right, you said your line like a boss. This time you're gonna really throw it. You're gonna throw it like you mean it. So I'm there. I'm angry. I have my glass, I say my line, and now with commitment, I toss that drink right back in my own face for the second time. That's all, that's the whole story. I was back in hair and makeup again, but you know what? On that third attempt, a full 30 minutes later, I did manage to drench my co-star, and we got down to the fun time. So, if you enjoyed those stories from my XXX past, you can see the full versions of the scenes that I'm talking about on my Spicy page, and so much more amazing BTS. I always like to leave in the funny parts, the silly parts, especially with my girlfriends. So if you like this type of content, travel your way over there because there is so much more. Thank you.